Hello, my people. How are they? How many of you remember since all these days, Professor Wole Soyinka, he had been trending regarding the comment he make against Nigeria youth, which is the obedient movement. Now, a lot of people have been dragging him from left, right, and center regarding to that comment. So another professor don't come out now, Professor Sagay. According to this professor, he say he's back. In other words, he support the comment Professor Wole Soyinka has made. Now, the reason why people are be dragging Wole Soyinka, because don't forget, he's a Nobel man, he's a professor, he win a many Nobel award, and the man is also an activist. In the time of Jonathan era, around that 2013-14, the man was so vocal, and this man, he led the protest of Occupy Lekki, and there is no name. This man did not call Jonathan and his wife. This man used so many printable words for them. I don't want to be calling those names here. Now, people are now asking, since the era of Buhari, why this man keep moves? This man is also come out now after Tinubu and the APC, they have done what they have done to Nigeria. And people was even expecting this man to speak out in the face of this injustice. And yet this man, his comment was to condemn the youth and the obedient movement. And don't forget, the same Wole Soyinka is also tell Labour Party that he wants a debate with the Labour Party vice presidential candidate, that's Ahmed Yusuf. Although Labour Party, they don't respond to him there. Yeah, and that is not even the reason for this video. Why am I making this video right now? Because I hear a lot of people, they will say, oh, youth, they don't respect elders, they don't respect elders and all that. Come on. When each time I hear that word, the thing, it beats my chest to say, elder, who are elder? The elder who are already mortgaged the future of the youth. In a probate setting, anytime someone assumes the office of the probate, that is what they call the probate servant, then age is no longer the equation. The only equation that the people they need is your work. If you do the work well, they will praise you. If you also do the work well, they will also give you woto. So that is the way it is. Elder cannot go there and be messing up the lives of the youth, and you expect the youth to be praising them because it's an elder. Anytime you assume the probate office, you are a probate servant. So the probate, they demand accountability from you, they demand transparency for you, and they demand explanation for you how you run their resources. You can't say because you're an elder, then you go there, you begin to run their lives, and you expect the youth to be looking at you. With me, there must be a feedback. There must be a culture of feedback, and that is what those people they have said right now. But yet, I want to traditionalize everything to say that, oh, youth don't respect the elder who are mortgaged the future of the youth. Guys, I want to leave you. Watch this Professor Sagay, what he said for this interview he granted from this channel television, when he said he was also lend his voice to what Professor Soyinka have said. Guys, don't forget to share this video. I will see you again for the next post. Thank you.
Largely manipulated, and perhaps the reason why we have seen so much agitation coming from the opposition side, and it was a loud outcry that we're seeing online that people are now challenging world powers and other leaders of other countries to tell the world that the election in Nigeria of 2023 was largely manipulated and it does not reflect the true position or the true yearnings of the Nigerian people. How do you react to such?
No, there is no evidence of that. There is no evidence of any manipulation. Well, there could be some, but of large manipulation which actually changed the way Nigerians felt about the parties. There's no such thing. The beavers was used. The beavers was very successful. Can you imagine APC losing in Lagos? I mean, immediately that should tell you that the bill taken into consideration. So it was a poorly exercised poll. And it's a very unfortunate thing that it set up the stage to mislead the Labour Party that it was going to win. It was very unfortunate. Throughout, when I was reading those polls, I was just laughing. Because you pick a few urban youths and you say that's Nigeria. Nigeria is a rural country with massive numbers of people in the villages all over the country, particularly in the north. Their views were not taken into consideration. And that was the result. That's why there was such a contradiction between the predictions of the pollsters, some of whom were even from America. Those who failed to predict that Donald Trump would win in 1916 were coming here to predict for us. So, and in a terrain they know nothing about. No, those polls were not. Thank you very much. A lot of people who have commented on these elections are young people who have not really gone through many election cycles in this country. In my personal opinion, in terms of representing the minds and wishes of Nigerians in an election, this is probably the best election we have ever had. I have watched the interview of Professor Soyinka and his views, which I accept totally, in that you cannot use vehemence and outburst of anger to control how this country is to be ruled. You cannot say it must be me or nobody else. He was right, and I certainly accept all his views. I have seen the insults being poured on him in social media, and this is the point we're making. You won't win an election by insults in social media. You just put people off. The next time round, it will be concluded that you are not fit to rule or be in a ruling party, because that is how you are going to terrorize the country. So what is being done by some members of the Labour Party is you look at the results for the Labour Party in the Northeast and Northwest. I mean, it was a very, very sad
Prof, were you
3,000, 4,000, where others were scoring 300,000.
Yeah. Were you surprised about the outcome, Prof? Considering the rave, especially someone like Peter Obi, the rave that he came with before the election and going into the election, and several polls have said Peter Obi was going to win the election. Were you surprised that Tinubu won?
No, I wasn't surprised. I had no faith in those polls. You just pick up your phone youths in urban areas, and they tell you their views. Do you know the views of the massive northern rural population? Were they contacted? Nobody, they were not contacted. Canvas was working, that the election was a straightforward and credible election. For that to happen, it's unheard of in over 23 years. So, in other areas also, as I try to explain, if you see the North and Northwest, Article 1, because it comes from that side. But where Tinubu succeeded, what made him succeed, was that where he was not number one, he was always close number two, except in the Southeast. He was number one in the Southwest, number one in the North Central, and then in the areas where he was not number one, always close. Look at the northern results, Northwest, Northeast, always a close second. So he was able to marshal votes all over the country except in the Southeast. The others were not able to do that, contrary to the interest of the Labour Party in the future. I expect them, well, they're mostly young people, to start planning for the next 4 years so that they can do their best, the party can do its best, and possibility of winning is always there. Instead of abusing, insulting, and threatening everybody on social media. I've seen some of the language being used, of calling him, referring to his period as a head of this organization, the pirates, in very, very insulting terms. So if people resort to that, they are not ready to see reason, then they will continue to suffer the same fate, I'm afraid.